Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Unleashed Alchemy, where on this platform we are talking about spiritual wisdom and what happens when we embrace that we are spiritual, energetic beings. We're so much more than this body. We talk about unleashing our spiritual gifts, stepping into our spiritual calling, all the while releasing archaic programming. All right. So, welcome here. If you are new here, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. All right. So, let's get into today's episode where we're going to talk about how to alchemize noise to strengthen our intuition. What am I talking about here? So, noise, what is it? So, we can talk about noise from the standpoint of actual physical noise that we are actually hearing through our ears, okay? We can talk about noise that comes to us from media, things that we are reading, things that we choose to read, okay? Shows that we choose to listen to, all right? Conversations that we engage in. We can also talk about noise as being metaphorical, all right? Noise, even within our own mind, and I guess that would not be metaphorical, but it's not necessarily physical. It's noise from our ego, okay? So, yes, we are spiritual beings. We are in this human body, so we experience all types of noise. All right. In this episode, I am going to talk about actual literal noise. All right. So here's the thing, your present circumstance and maybe a circumstance that you've been in before can literally be noisy. Okay. This is not symbolic. We're talking about actual noise. Perhaps the only privacy, or you have limited privacy. Perhaps the only privacy that you get is if you are in the bathroom. Okay? But once you step outside that bathroom, it is all noise, all right, that you are faced with. Doesn't matter how you got into the situation, it doesn't matter the circumstance. But the point is, you're faced with noise. Now, that noise can be irritating, agitating. It can also bring feelings of anger, just agitation all around. And you may be saying, or you may have said, if you have found yourself in this situation, how do I get peace in this? How do I experience peace in this? All right? Here's what I want you to understand. Regardless of whether that noise is actual or metaphorical, you are powerful. Okay? What that noise, here's how we are the alchemist. Here's how we become the alchemist. When we look at that noise, instead of focusing on the agitation of the noise, because notice, I'm not going to tell you to focus on getting rid of the agitation, all right? But what I am going to say is, instead of focusing on that agitation from the noise, what you have the power to do is look at the noise differently and say, this noise is actually strengthening my spiritual gifts, particularly intuition. Why particularly intuition? Because we often confuse our intuition with fear. We also say, I don't know. How do I know when intuition is intuition and when it's just my own ego, or when it's worry, or when it's fear? On that note, fear, well, you have to know fear is loud. Fear and worry is always going to come with a condition. If you do this, then this will happen. Or if you don't do this, then this will not happen, or could happen, or will happen. That is based on fear and worry. Intuition can be subtle, and it is quiet. It is quiet, but it is commanding. There is no confusion in it. There is no overanalyzation. You're actually, when you know intuition and when you're being guided and called by your spirit to take an action, even before your ego can start to analyze it, you find yourself already in motion. So if you are experiencing literal noise right now, I want you to look at that as arsenal to strengthen your muscle of intuition in all the infinite ways that spirit speaks to us and guides us with speaking to us, giving us messages, giving us visions, opening the pathway for us to receive synchronicities, and knowing that synchronicity is not just a coincidence, that it is actually spirit guiding us. So, in your noisy environment, in your noisy circumstance, I want you to pay attention to how you are feeling in your body. This is why, and we talked about this before, I've been on this so heavy for probably the last 4 episodes of Unleashed Alchemy. Also, I just released a full workshop that has 8 modules to it about how we have to recognize our bodies as energetic beings and how that affects our nervous system and the positive effects on our nervous system. I just released that is the newest workshop in Unleashed Alchemy Mystery School. Check the link for that in the description box. But going back to the episode, pay attention to how you're feeling, because when you pay attention to your body, you're paying attention to your nervous system. When you do this, you start to understand that the agitation that you're feeling, it doesn't have to be yours. You can actually detach from that noise, from the literal noise. In the same way that you can choose not to engage in a conversation, in the same way that you can choose to shut off the noise from society and media, you can do that the same way with actual noise. You can detach from it while still being in that environment. The noise doesn't have to be yours. How do you detach from it? By asking, okay, how does my body feel right now? Am I making this noise mine? Okay? Even with the noise being jarring, when you start to ask those questions about your body, you start to focus on your body and you start to honor your body. That wakes up something inside of you where spirit can actually, you understand that you can still actually get messages from spirit. You can actually receive and hear very clearly from spirit. I know this because I have been in that situation. All right. And I'm telling you something that worked for me, that has worked for me. All right. So this is why I'm sharing this with you. So going back to the episode, paying attention to your body, it keeps you receptive to all the many ways that you can continue to receive downloads when you are detached from that noise. All right. So like I said earlier, because elevated message from spirit is not loud, it is subtle but very sure and confident. The messages that you get from spirit are confident, okay? Not loud, not noisy. because noise can feel chaotic. And when you ask yourself, okay, how is my body feeling right now? What you're doing is you're noticing whether or not you are allowing that chaos to deposit into your nervous system, which is what we don't want. All right? So, detaching from the noise doesn't even necessarily mean that you're ignoring it either. What you have to do, what this is doing, what I just told you about asking yourself those questions, okay, how is my body feeling now? Am I taking on the chaos of this noise? Am I allowing the chaos and the agitation to be deposited into my nervous system? This situation that you're in now, that is noisy and can feel chaotic, that is bringing up feelings of agitation, observe the feelings, observe the noise. Also know that this is the perfect opportunity for you to surrender while also detaching. What is surrender going to do? That surrender is going to cause you to recognize that contrast. Because remember what I've said twice already. Messages that you receive from spirit are not loud. They do not involve chaos. They're subtle. They are clear. Noise is not subtle. Noise is not clear. Maybe clear as far as what you're hearing, but there's chaos in that. So, this is a perfect opportunity for you to surrender to that contrast. Because from this moment, from this circumstance on, you will never have to question your intuition and whether the guidance that you're hearing and whether the inspired action is influenced by spirit or not. Because now, because you have had the experience of hearing noise, you know going forward, oh no, that I'm hearing, that's ego. Oh no, this that I'm hearing, the subtle sound that is full of clarity, that's intuition. Because you have had that opportunity to strengthen that muscle. You've had the opportunity to observe that contrast. So now you can now use noise as energetic arsenal. Okay? You can use the power, you can harness the power of noise to receive deeper insights. What are those deeper insights? Messages from spirit, your intuition. All right? So that is the episode for today. Let me know what your insights are. Let me know what your takeaways are from this episode. And until next time, cheers.